Leeds United are set to face off against Blackburn Rovers on New Year's Day at Elland Road, and we are coming off an incredible run of form. We've won our last 3 matches, we've gone unbeaten in the last 6, only dropping points against Preston on the road, and the last time we actually lost a match was against Blackburn Rovers. So you can see that currently we're on a good run of form, but you can also see why there might be a few little concerns that are starting to sneak in at the moment. So in this video, I'm going to do a very, very quick preview of everything around this match, sort of what we can expect from Blackburn, what Leeds United might need to do, how we can expect them to play, and potential changes to the lineup. And ultimately, we'll find out what we expect from this game from Leeds United. So first off, I'm going to have a quick look through our home form and just tell you, basically, it's absolutely ridiculous. I've tried to record this opening 3 times now. Each time I've gotten stuck in the statistics and thinking, it's bizarre, how is that true? But the last time we've dropped points at home was the loss against Burnley in the middle of September. We've gone 3.5 months without dropping any points at home. It's obscene, it's ridiculous, it's bizarre, which puts us in a really, really good position for this match against Blackburn Rovers. In addition to that, our recent form away from home is showing an improvement. Our recent form at home is ridiculous. We beat Oxford 4-0, we beat Borough 3-1, before that we beat Derby 2-0. So our last 3 matches at home, we've won on aggregate 9-1. Ridiculously good side at the minute, especially when you have a look at what we've done against basically every single team we played against recently. Even the match before that, we won 3-0 against Luton. It's going really, really well for us at the minute. But if we were to say that there is a kryptonite of this Leeds United side, you've got to look at John Eustace. You've got to look at Blackburn this season, Blackburn away last season, Birmingham last season, and say that's where there could be potential problems, because that was the last time we dropped points. That was the only time that we have dropped points in the last 10 matches. The time before that was against Millwall, when they were on that ridiculous run of just winning every single game 1-0. So there needs to be a little bit of a discussion around how we can counter the way that Blackburn play. And the way that we can expect Blackburn to play is quite difficult to talk about. The way they played against us in the early stages of the match over at Ewood Park was they were very in our face, they were very up to us, they were very fighty. They weren't pulling the low block bollocks that you see from a lot of teams. They were playing in a sort of aggressive mid-block, waiting for us to play out a little bit. And then around the halfway line, they go, okay, now we strike. Which is dangerous. Incredibly dangerous, because if we lose possession in those areas, we like to play with a lot of players bombing forwards, and that's where the danger comes in, especially when they've got some quite good attacking players. Todd Cantwell is a very decent player at this level. Tyree Stolen, irritating little guy, but he's a very, very good guy at what he does. And that Blackburn squad is stacked full of players that are very good at what they do, and what they do fits in perfectly with John Eustace's system. The issue that went wrong last time was Autanaka was very loose with a challenge, fouled a man, gave away a penalty, and that basically decided the game, because then they could sit deeper and they could wait. I think they'll approach this match a little bit differently, because playing home and away are 2 completely different beasts, even in the EFL Championship. I'm going to head over to standings and FB Ref, actually. I'm going to look at away standings and see how Blackburn tend to do away, and they're genuinely not that bad. This season, 11 matches away from home, they've won 4 of them, drawn 3, lost 4. Fairly even, but looking throughout their last 5 matches, they've got a lot of 1-0 wins in there. Of their last 4 games, they've lost 1-0 to Millwall. This is their away games. Lost 1-0 to Millwall, won 1-0 at Sheffield Wednesday, won 1-0 at Hull, won 1-0 at Borough. They are a team that are willing to get that early goal by doing that aggressive stuff, that winning the ball in the middle of the park and hitting you hard on the counter, so you are going to force a mistake out of someone like an Autanaka, and then sitting on that lead, which is dangerous for us, I think, because that is where we tend to lose our games of football, which means that I think we're going to have to be clever. And I think looking at our lineup, I think as much as people are saying that Sam Byram has played a lot of football, and that is true, you've got to consider what the replacement option for Sam Byram at left back is, and there is one of those, and his name is Isaac Schmidt. Isaac Schmidt is a very, very good player. He's a very, very attacking player, and that's why I personally wouldn't pick him for this match, because I think we need someone that is more able to help us dominate the ball in those defensive areas and make sure that they're not able to counter quite as easily, because we've not really seen that much of the defensive side of Isaac Schmidt's game. which, fair enough. I understand he's not had that many minutes. I would have hoped he would have had some more minutes by this point, but he's not really forced his way into the side. I would prefer Byram for this one, and then whether it's Hull or Harrogate, you can play Isaac Schmidt then. But as long as Byram is able to run, and as long as Byram is able to do his thing, I'm going to trust him in this one because he's a genuinely very good, tidy player against Championship opposition, and that's what we're going to need in this match. Across the rest of the pitch, midfield, I'd be tempted to go with Ethan Ampadu with someone, maybe Ampadu Tanaka, because that's more of a defensively solid lineup, because the fear here for me is what if Blackburn get that early goal and then we're forced onto the front foot, and it's not the front foot in a good way because it becomes a siege, and the sheer strength of the walls that we are faced up against when it comes to Blackburn are impossible to deal with. If, and it's a big if, we do play Rothwell Tanaka or Rothwell Ampadu, I'd still feel okay. I'd still feel confident enough because I think those driving runs out of midfield are going to be fairly important in this match. But I would personally lean to the sort of two more defensive players of that set. Wingers, I'd probably go Solomon and James because they're on absolutely ridiculous form. But I'm not sure what you'd do in terms of it up top. Because against Blackburn last time out, Piru was not very good. He didn't give their defenders anything to particularly think about. Aronson, I'm going to stick with because we don't have a number 10 to rotate with, and he was genuinely very, very good against Derby. The worry is, do you trust Mateo Joseph to finish off some chances, or do you say, okay, we'll just stick with Piru and hope that he can cause them more problems in this match? Personally, I might lean Joseph to tire out their defenders, and then you bring on Piru. It worked against Derby, it might work again, but the entire situation's a little bit complicated. In terms of predictions, it's going to be tight. It's going to be a scrap, and we are against a team that are ultimately ridiculously good away from home. I don't think we'll drop points because I think we have just a little bit too much quality for them. I think it's not going to be a comfy win for us in the slightest. I think it's going to be a 1-0, probably late on because we're going to be playing against a very, very passive side, but I am feeling confident enough in that. I think if I've got to pick a goal scorer, I'm going to go Mana Solomon. Why not? Let's give it to him. Either way, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, pop in a score prediction, actually, a specific guess for what you think the score is going to be. I'm very, very curious. Either way, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, pop a like on it. Subscribe if you're not yet. You could even become a channel member. You get videos early, and it's 99p a month. Really affordable, and it helps me to continue doing this because various circumstances mean that I'm just trying to find more ways of making this a bit more of a viable thing to dive into more headfirst. Either way, like, subscribe, member, all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Also, the reason I'm doing this today, not tomorrow morning like I normally do with previews, is because I'm going to actually be at the game. So I think expect a vlog shortly after the match finishes. Don't hold me to that because I'm not 1000% certain. Cheers. See you later.